Hey, friends. Guess who got called into oven pizza duty? So let's start off with the video and then I'll be back in a minute. Let's see here. Let's go with We're Going Home. Just for fun. I want to tell you the story of the Korihor sigil, or the Koaz. That's the symbol of the Church of Korihor. Now, we're a church for godless people, so it's probably no surprise that this story, it's kind of geeky. In April 1970, Apollo 13 was on the third mission to land on the moon. But 2 days into the journey, an oxygen tank in their service module exploded, crippling the spacecraft and leaving astronauts Jim Lovell, Jack Swigert, and Fred Hayes in a desperate fight to get home alive. They had to shut down most of the electronics on their spacecraft, including the guidance computer that charted their way home. But on their way back toward Earth, they discovered that they were coming in too shallow and too fast. Unless they corrected course and slowed down, they would bounce off the Earth's atmosphere into space, where they surely would die. They figured that they could manually fire the lunar module's engine, but they would only have 14 seconds of fuel. Now, if you're going to be stuck in outer space without a guidance computer, the guy you want with you is Jim Lovell. When Lovell was the command module pilot on Apollo 8, Mission Control had him rehearse this exact scenario. Astronaut means sailor of the stars, but really every sailor is an astronaut, because one of humanity's greatest instruments has been the sextant, an instrument to judge your place by measuring your placement to the stars. Well, the Apollo 13 service module had a modern version of a sextant built into it. And Jim Lovell was the first man in space to navigate to the moon and back, at least partly, with only the stars to go by. But Apollo 13 had a problem that Apollo 8 did not. Debris from the explosion obscured Lovell's view so that he couldn't see the stars through the sextant. This is where it would be easy to give up. The crew of Aquarius could blame Houston, Houston could blame them. They could despair and shut down. But none of those options were a way home. That's when Jim Lovell came up with a pretty innovative idea, the Crewman Optical Alignment Sight, or COAS. Now, the COAS is basically like the crosshairs of a rifle scope, designed to align the two parts of the spacecraft while they were docking. Now, Lovell fixed that bullseye instead on the only fixed point in space that he could see through the lunar module window, Earth. They chose the Earth's terminator line, the line between the day and night sides of the Earth, as the reference point, keeping the Earth's terminator line lined up in the COAS, with Jim controlling the yaw and the burn and Fred manning the pitch and Jack timing the burn on his watch. They fired the engines and corrected that angle in 14 seconds.
Guide me by morning light, keeping home in my sight. With doubts and dreams take flight. We flash in the dark, so let's flash, flash bright. On a mission to save ourselves, break with dogma, with these shells. My friend, if you choose to be free, I'll light your path if you'll walk with me. We're going home to where we'll find a world where life is worth the climb. One day we will crash and we will die. Oh, my friends, that's not tonight.
You know, I remember when Apollo 13, the movie, came out, Tom Hanks says to Bill Paxton and Kevin Bacon, 0 Degrees, "Gentlemen, what are your intentions?" "I'd like to go home. You and I are living in an emergency. We can't see the stars, and our guidance computer isn't working. We have to line up the real world in the COAS. We have to use courage. We have to use tenacity and innovation. We're going to have to science the shit out of this if we're going to make a world that we want to live in. And to do that, you need godless people. This is our time. This is the time when we need atheists and agnostics to get religion, but instead of a religion about God, we need a religion about us. We are our saviors. This is our time."
No more shadows in our mind. Leave the fears and past behind. On this pale blue dot, we will make our stand. Light within, we will be our hands. We're going home to where we'll find a world where life is worth the climb. One day we will crash and we will die. Oh, my friends, that's not tonight. Come on, science, our path is clear. Strangers once, our re-entry nears. Sighting land, we'll quit this sea. I'm going home. Who will come with me?
I'll fail. I'll start again. I'm looking for people who have the courage to fail with me until we find all the ways to fail, or by some stroke of luck, we go home. Amen.
By math and science, our path is clear. Strangers once, our re-entry nears. Sighting land, we'll quit this sea. I'm going home. Who will come with me?
As Pedro Pascal would say, that's the hottest guy I've ever seen. But this pizza's about to come out of the oven. So let's sing. Who's up for surprise? I'm glad you guys like the hymns. They're my favorite. BRB.
Gum stuck to my shoe. Heavy petting in the neon hue. Cracked vase on the kitchen floor. I get what I want, then I want more. Soaking in the bathtub fizz. The way you look at me is a quiz. Hair teased high like a wild storm. In your arms I feel so warm. Lick my cupcake, sweet sensation. It's a sugar-coated invitation. Don't you know it's such a sin when you don't dig in? Tights and a leather jacket. Got a secret, can you hack it? Lights blur as we drive fast. Make this moment last and
Has that been over long? In case anybody out there is curious whether or not Daddy making oven pizza means Daddy gets oven pizza. No. But Daddy gets to steal snacks when people aren't looking. But if Daddy steals a slice of pizza, oh, the hell to pay. The hell to pay, my pizza. And that boy, this 10-year-old boy will put away a whole pizza by himself. Now, granted, he mainly eats the toppings. But I can't blame him. Red Baron pepperoni pizza, it is pretty good. I am alone in my opinion that Red Baron pepperoni pizza, classic crust, which, trust me, I got thin crust on accident one time. Ho ho! Oh no! That's almost as bad as the time I got the gluten-free chicken dinosaurs. Oh my goodness. Hell to pay. Don't send Dad to the grocery store. He gets the wrong thing. It's disgusting. Yeah, hey, Joey, I'll take as much help with Suno as I can get. I have to cut. I usually wind up cutting off the songs a little bit early because otherwise they're too long for the YouTube shorts. They can only, now, not only do they have to be less than 3 minutes, they have to be like less than 2 minutes and 58 seconds, or they could get bumped out of the shorts, and shorts get more views than other videos. So I usually cut the video off at 2 minutes and 58 seconds. It's dumb. But yeah, what are you gonna do? You have to do what you have to do, right? So, should we talk about Discord? Those of you who didn't see it, Joey threw in the chat the URL for the thing. Can I copy it? Let's see here. Am I able to copy that at all? I'm not able to copy it, at least not inside StreamYard. Let's see. I might have to go to watch my own YouTube video while I'm talking into it. This is going to be interesting. I am the Church of Korahor. Yes, I am. Live. Yes, we are. That's weird. That's weird. Oh, do you guys not see the Discord link? Was that from before? Well, whatever. Joey sent it to me in an email. Talk amongst yourselves. But we looked at it last night, and I think it's got potential, man. I really like it. Let's see here. Let's see if it remembers me. Discord app launched. Oh, yeah? This is why I don't do Discord. You guys have to educate me on the Discord, but I'm glad it's going to be there for people who do it. New themes. All right. Let me see if I can share. All right. Share. Screen. Entire screen, I guess. With audio? Yeah, I guess so. Share. Kaboom. All right. So this is what it looks like inside the web browser. Oh, no, wait. There we go. Church of Korahor. Right? Yeah, I'm in Church of Korahor. And it's got different servers, different like little tags here. And then there are these rooms that are going to be here, right? So like these are just some sample ideas of different things that you'll be able to get involved in. LDS recovery, Jehovah's Witnesses recovery, etc. Joey's in there now. MLM recovery, he created that. I'll catch flack from some family members in that, and I love it. Let's do it. Gaming, music, pets. So basically, it's still a very open. We haven't figured out entirely what is going to be in here, and that's why we need people to get in there and kind of poke around with it. And so that's why Joey said, let's have the regulars just get in there and just kind of poke around and see if you can break it. And so that's the plan at current. So guys will be able to do that. That's the idea. Yeah. Let me let me throw the link in there. Boom. Let me throw the link into the chat, and then hopefully you guys will be able to click on it and or copy and paste it. But boom, you guys, let me know if you can't, if that link doesn't work for whatever reason, YouTube reason. I'm excited about it, even if I'm not going to use it. I mean, I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best. Sometimes these newer technologies, they throw my brain for a loop. I've been thinking about, apparently, I don't know if you guys know about this. We talked about Bob Ross. Does it say not talking, not talking? Oh, talking, not taking. It says. That's cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think it'll be good as long as we can, make it easy for people to get involved in and to vet them quickly, but also vet them so that people aren't getting into spaces because, sooner or later we're going to have family members who are going to come around snooping to see if their kids or their siblings have gone over to the dark side. The dark side may be evil, but we don't out. That's uncool. What was it talking about? Let's see here. Some other oh yeah. So apparently, I told you I watched that Bob Ross documentary. It was put up by the New York Times of all people, and about how the Bob Ross paintings from The Joy of Painting are basically all boxed up in this dead woman's house. The woman who was like his patron, the woman whose mansion he lived in, and who provided him with a livelihood, and basically they just don't want his paintings to be sold or bought by anybody. And so there's like all these rumors out there that people have that there's somebody out there who has Bob Ross, but according to these people, it's not true. Nobody does. She's the only one who ever had any of them. That's right. You guys listen to Joey. I would. Only as much as is reasonable. But yeah, basically, we don't know what we don't know about what women want in the Discord server. We don't know about what women want generally. And I don't want to presume to tell anyone, but I also don't want to presume to tell any women that, hey, you need to come out here and do this and tell us what it is that women want. I don't want to do that either. So call this an open invitation to women. Hello, women. How are you? If you have the time and the interest, and you feel like a space for women is nothing like what men would decide it would be, please be welcome here, if you like, to tell us what we're doing wrong and to help us make it better for you. And or let's get some women in there who just have admin access and just build it for themselves, know, a thing or two. Sorry, I was creepy. That was creepy. I'm sorry. Bob Ross. Turns out Bob Ross. Oh, yeah. So the company that owns the assets for Bob Ross, who's no longer with us, has started to put the joy of painting and the Bob Ross tutorials, which was like a DVD, VHS training series that you could order once upon a time. Maybe you still can. They've started to put Bob Ross's advanced painting trainings on Twitch, right? And a whole generation of like young people are watching the joy of painting with Bob Ross on Twitch. They're like, this guy does amazing paintings. Have you seen what he does? And just like, he's got a happy little tree. And like Bob Ross has got, it's like, it's all new. It's all fresh. And there's a whole new generation of young painters are going to come out of this. And I'm here for it. I'm just stoked about that idea. Yeah, like a whole bunch of people are going to learn about Bob Ross. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm just saying. Look, we make the space. We make the room that women go into. I'm not saying this in any way to be creepy, which of course means it. We make the room for women to go into. What you all do in there is your business. That's all I'm saying. That's what I said. You all do your thing. It'd be great for us to get some admins in there who are women who know Discord. Yeah. Discord ain't just for dudes. Women do Discord all the time. But is that a thing inside the Discord? Again, we're just throwing things out there. Jenny, is has a channel. It's all about being a recovered trad wife. So I don't know. Jenny and I had an interesting conversation recently about mom talk, but I won't tell it here. That's her story to tell. But I didn't know. She educated me a lot on that. Jenny came from a trad wife, Mormon trad wife, thing before mom talk was a thing. And so it was like, and then her whole life came crashing down when her husband divorced her. After it turns out he'd been sleeping around with a 19-year-old escort. And so it's like, yeah, life take twos, Jenny. Yep. The second herald of the Church of Korihor as well, and proudly so. I hope so. I hope proud to be so. She doesn't usually come in on Sundays because she spends Sundays, especially when she has her kids, she spends Sundays with her kids. So she's good people. What's up, Bobbert? We have Coach in the chatty chat. And I had an interesting conversation with Bob, with Robert. Yeah, she's great. Jenny's great. And then so I reconnected this week with all my friends pretty much, except for AT Chick, who doesn't call me anymore. I got drunk with AT Chick one time. Now she doesn't want to be friends with me. Blah, blah, blah. I guess I'm not good enough anymore. Blah, blah, blah. But I had a good call with Beth Magnetic last week, last Wednesday. I don't know if she's released it yet. She was going to release it on Friday, but we had a conversation about how Mormonism got picked apart in the Lori Daybell, the Lori Daybell trial this week. And they did. I didn't watch. I don't know if you guys have been watching it, but Lori Daybell at the trial, the prosecution put Mormonism on blast about how apparently in the Book of Mormon there's this guy named Nephi, and apparently he's like all about, it's better that one man should dwindle and perish than the nation should dwindle, and that man should perish than that an entire nation should dwindle and perish in unbelief. And this woman, Lori Daybell, thinks that is what had to happen to her husband, Charles Vallow. Or wait, is it Charles Vallow? Yeah, I know. Anyways, it was epic. It was grand. I've talked about it before, but it's another thing to hear a prosecutor read it out to a jury. And so we had a good conversation about it, and she was going to publish it. And perish and dwindle. Almighty, Almighty God, will you perish and dwindle? Without you, Jesus. You guys know Mike Birbiglia? Do you remember Mike Birbiglia's old comedy? Sorry to eat in your ear. If I don't eat live, I won't eat at all. And then bad things. That is noisy. Mike Birbiglia used to bring out his guitar, and then he would play and sing. And he would talk about like when you're on the road doing comedy tours, and you would go from city to city. And you like start, and the first stations that comes on, I don't know if it was Thank God for Jokes. I don't remember what it was, but the first radio stations that come on the radio as you get closer to the city, especially in the Midwest, he says are the Christian rock groups, the Christian rock stations, and they're like deceptive because like they sound just like regular rock and roll for a while. And then they like hit you with the Jesus stuff, like bam, like right in the head, like be like, and it's like turns out he gets his guitar and it's like, I woke up in the morning and I made myself some oatmeal and I poured some raisins on it and Christ is God. I was like, what the fuck, man? What about the oatmeal? I was like invested in the oatmeal. Christ is God. That was partially my inspiration for Unholy when I decided I was going to write Unholy. That plus, I wrote it. I went to a Christian church one time with a girl I had the hots for in high school, and almost got honeypotted into some Jesus because their church was much better than ours. And she was like, you got to come to my church, Joey. I was one of the few women I allowed to call me Joey back then. I don't know how Joey Smith does it. But I went to church. I went to a Christian church one time. I had to pass the sacrament along, the Eucharist or the communion or whatever, because it was actual wine. But I do remember like being there, and she had asked me after service, and she had asked me, she's like, what did you think about service today? And I said, I liked that there was a lot more getting up in the middle and singing, because in Mormonism, that's like my main complaint is that, sacrament meeting is so long and boring. And so, but they did one of those songs that was like that, like, holy, and that's when I said, well, we can't just make fun of the Mormons the whole time. We got to make fun. We got to get evangelical Jesus in on the sacrilege. And so that's when I created Unholy. Should we do it now? Let's do it.
Unholy, I am unholy, full of unvirtuous, rambunctious, and perverted thoughts. Unholy, I am unholy.
Let's go ahead and chalk this up to just trying to make AT chick feel more at home so that she starts to miss North Carolina and comes back to America where she can help us make America great again. Here we go.
I am a rebellious asshole. I should be locked up on the spot. Unholy, I am unholy. I support the state, knowing fascists overthrew it for God. But I'm trying, oh, I'm trying to become better. Though I suck at it, that makes me better than God. Unholy, I am unholy, full of rebellious, rambunctious, and perverted thoughts.
We still got Culch out there in the comments. Culch, should we send this to Steve Pinecker? I think we should. I'm just saying, years in the future, right? Korihor Convention 2027. Okay. 4,000 Korihors in a big ass stadium in downtown Salt Lake City, right? Just full of just ex-Mormons, ex-JWs, ex-evangelicals, full-on Satanists, all in time. Ready?
Become better. Though I suck in it, that makes me better than God.
Like I wrote that song and gave it to Suno to make, and it was like first time lucky. It's like what is this? I'm like, this is a Christian rock song. It's like solemn. It's like rock and roll, but it's like bad rock and roll, but it's like kind of like classic rock. And it's like, oh, you mean like this? That's it. That's it. Like I wrestle with it so much. Hey, Coach. Maybe we won't get into all that. But okay, so I talked to Beth Magnetic earlier this week. Then then I talked to another person I'm not going to mention at the moment. And then as a consequence of that, I ended up on a phone call with Jenny Gage. I had a great conversation with her. All my conversations with Jenny Gage are good conversations. Even the ones where she calls me up to call me out are good conversations. And yes, she does. And then I had a conversation as a consequence of that. I had a conversation with Maven. Well, that and other things that I did. I don't know if you guys saw Maven putting Mormonism live on blast on Friday. Yes, I helped with that. Maven asked me to help a while ago. And I said, I will do anything I can for you, Maven. I like you. I will catch all kinds of hell about it. And I'm here for it because if it matters to Maven, it matters to me. And then I ended up talking to last night to Culch and to Gene and to Maven again. So I've been like talking to all my friends lately. I wish we were talking about something other than troubles with other creators, but we've been having an interesting time. Cool. Oh, the link expires. Okay, the Discord link expires, you guys. But then but once you're into the server, you're in, right? Okay. I'm already in. So yeah, people who do Discord, get into the Discord link. I'll put it back up. Because apparently I can't authorize anybody else from StreamYard to get in there. So this is the Discord link. So yeah, we're going to be all Discordy. I think I'm really excited about the possibility that we could be doing like Magic the Gathering. So Diamond Dave, I don't know if Diamond Dave is here with us. Diamond Dave or Hyde, I don't know if Hyde is out there. Yesterday, Diamond Dave, you guys have seen on here on our chat group, in our chats and in others, or conversations, he's moving to Mongolia, like tomorrow, or day after, where he's getting married. Congratulations to you wherever you are, Diamond Dave. And while he's and since he was moving out there, and he had contacted me to say, hey, I have all these like really good Magic the Gathering cards and like all these, sundry tabletop role-playing game things. And I was like, wow. He's like, do you want them? And I'm like, we want them. Me personally, no, but we want them. Yeah. And I said, I'm going to hook you up with my guy. Hyde, who is our guy down in Provo, who is, helping us to set up the whole gaming side, the whole gamer side of our projects for the Church of Korihor, is like a Magic the Gathering tournament champ. And I'm like, we got to get you guys together. And so I connected them, and apparently they met up yesterday and like had a blast. And apparently one of the things Diamond Dave was looking to get rid of was a PS4, which, I know the PS5 has been out for a while now, but that's a pretty cool thing to get, it seems to me. So it's looking like we may wind up with like a gaming, with like regular gaming nights where, people just get together, people who are into gaming, and just like kick back and have a good time. And I think that would be awesome. I mean, right? And so if we take that and we combine that with, this Discord server, I think we got to get Hyde and Joey to communicate here. I think we could coordinate some pretty amazing things. Another thing, I think I've talked about this before. I don't know if you guys know about this, but like Kobe Reddish, you guys know Kobe, right? Kobe's like really big into Warhammer. I'm just saying. I don't think he'll mind that I mentioned that, but he's like really big into Warhammer. And so I'm like, dude, we got people, man. But yeah, and Kobe's good people. So yeah, I know you guys know about this, but the ex-Mormon creator world is a little bit divided right now. Actually, it's been for a while. And that's coming to a bit of a head right now. I'm sure Maven would both love and hate to take credit for that. It was going on long before this division between Mormonism Live and Maven, which has been going on for a while. And that one ropes in everybody because she works for Mormon Stories, and so, and it like touches everybody. But then before that, we had this Mormon News Roundup controversy. I'm not telling you guys anything that isn't publicly talked about, and that's one that I got caught up in. Yeah. Yeah, did Cults of Consciousness do that? I that sounds familiar to me. You know who else just did a thing about leaving the Exmo space? Um, Exmo Lex is focusing, has decided she's going to publish the last of her content on her channel and then focus full time on her mom and her mom's boyfriend's farm. And they have like a new thing they're doing out there. I wish them all well, man. You can't do that Exmo stuff forever. Oh, cool. CTC. Oh, on Cults of Consciousness. Yeah. Yeah, she published a video about it just yesterday. What was I going to talk about with that regard? Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen it. But Britt Hartley, I didn't get time to work this in here. The image that I made for this one, for today's Godless Sermon, I'll pull it up for you. This image right here was originally, the original title was supposed to be What Heretic Teaches Us About. Heretic is actually about all of us. So this was supposed to be like Hugh Grant's character looking down on the model house. Those of you who haven't seen it yet, Heretic, that's what that is. But yeah. And so I was thinking about that as of last night before I decided I don't have time to get into that. On Gene Judson's program, what was it? Well, when the movie first came out, when Heretic first came out, I kind of wowed everybody in there with my description, my breakdown of what is actually in the movie Heretic. There are a lot of spoilers, so maybe I won't go over it. Oh, you got to watch it. I'll throw some things out there. The cell phone. Pay close attention to the cell phone. Pay close attention to any symbolism. What's up, Diamond Dave? We were just talking about you. Oh yeah, that's cool. Everybody's going to Thailand. Pay attention to the references to metal in Heretic. Pay attention to references to moths and butterflies. Water is an important symbol. Dude, that'd be dope. I mean, I'd like to get Dan McClellan on this program, but we'll see about that. As a matter of fact, I'd like to get myself onto Dogma, Data Over Dogma, but I'll have to see about that. Well, won't be doing a lot of that in Mongolia, I'd imagine. There, Diamond Dave. Diamond Dave, you didn't tell me you were going to give Hyde a PS4. I think I have one. I think my wife got one. Yeah, but yeah, I'm glad though. It's looking like Hyde is going to start putting together gaming nights, and could be really cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to get booked on Data Over Dogma. So we got Diamond Dave right here. We were just talking about you. Hold up, what's going on here? We were just talking about you, my man.
What'd I do? What happened?
You're in trouble.
Oh no!
Big
what a shock!
Trouble.
What a
Where's
shock! What happened? What happened? What'd I say?
We were talking about how you are getting married.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought it was what I asked you about a particular person in the Exmo space. I thought that might have taken off a little bit.
What did we talk?
I messaged you about particular comments made about Bill Reel, and apparently there was a miscommunication.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know if he likes me much anymore, but it wasn't intended to be negative, and I didn't know that saying he was popping off was construed as a negative term. So
Yeah.
nothing major, nothing bad, but
Yeah. Basically, you don't want to get too detailed into. From what I understand, following Bill Reel's Facebook page is problematic in a similar way, but in a different vein to following my Facebook page, which is people who follow my Facebook page get depressed. People who follow Bill Reel's Facebook page apparently get depressed about his politics. Which I've actually managed to stop posting so much about politics on my channel.
I will admit I'm partially responsible for that, because if you go to his first political post ever, it got a bunch of engagement, and I'm like, dude, this is helping your page. You're getting more engagement. You should do this more. And then I saw more posts, and I'm like, I kind of regret.
Yeah,
I kind of regret that, actually.
wish you hadn't poked that bear.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, his page, not whatever. Like, my political views are very opposite and don't even apply in America. So that would be a fun convo to have, I think.
Joey says that maybe he thought you were comparing him to Peter Popoff.
Peter,
Do you know
I don't
Peter
even,
Popoff?
No, I have no idea who that is. I'm trying to find my other headphones. I'm trying to find my other headphones right now. Oh, here we go.
All right.
I'm gonna switch
Those
over.
people at home who are curious, you should definitely watch my friend's documentary. Oh gosh, what's my buddy's name? What's his name? I guess we aren't that close. I don't even remember his name. I haven't talked to him in a while. They made a documentary called An Honest Liar, about Randy, James the Amazing Randy, and who was the atheist who debunked a whole bunch of faith healers, right? And one of the ones that probably his most legendary one was Peter Popoff. And basically he had a mega church where he would get up there and he would start calling out to people. And he's like, I got so and so out here in the audience, and she's got a stomach tumor. Is that right? You got a tumor? You got stomach cancer, and you've had it for 5 years, and you got a blah, blah, blah. And they'd be like, oh my God. And he'd be like, I just want to let you know that Jesus is burning that right out of you right now. Oh my God. And then they'd like pass out. And it was this huge revival. And James the Amazing Randy, he hired a security guy, like a private investigator, dressed him up in like a generic security guard outfit. Wasn't even the one, as far as I know, one of the ones there. And you would think they were planned, say TJ. That'd be a good guess. What it really was at the beginning, people would arrive early to service, and he wouldn't come out until like 20, 30 minutes later. And they would go out and they would collect all the prayer cards from the audience, from people who were like, oh, I've got this, Lord, please, da 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 da. And they would write out the prayers and things that they were praying for God, and they would put their name and address, and then any donations they would, and they would come out and they would collect them in the baskets and then take them straight upstairs. Anyway, so they sent this guy into the building, and he finds a little broom closet and just kind of like ducks away inside this broom closet and hides in there with a radio scanner and starts scanning all the radio frequencies from inside the building. And sure enough, he says, I just went through a few basic radio frequencies before I heard what sounded like a woman's heels on concrete. And I hear this voice, and they play the voice, and it's like, Petey, do you hear me, Petey? If you don't, then you're in trouble. And he said, sure enough. And all of this was because James the Amazing Randy, watching this guy's broadcasts, noticed that he had a hearing aid. And he's like, isn't it curious that this man who restores sight to the blind and hearing to the deaf and does all these amazing miracles has a hearing aid? And that's where they had gotten this idea. This guy's got a radio receiver in his ear.
Yeah.
And they just take the prayer cards and just cycle them through. and start reading. His wife was just reading him the prayer cards over his earpiece. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard of PD pop off. No, I said Bill was popping off in the comments and alienating people, and like he's getting a lot of engagement and stuff. And apparently that's a negative connotation. I went bowling with Kendall. Actually last night. Yeah, they were he was kind enough, as well as my roommate and other people, make a video for my fiance. But yeah,
fun.
Yeah, and so it's like, building like that, and I'm like, how? And then I asked Kendall what it could mean, and I guess in Mormonism, popping off is like, losing control, going off the rails. It's not like YouTube, it's not like normal content creation, I guess, or gaming, or just any type of content creation. Because if something like pops off, like I've got videos I made a couple months ago that popped off. It's got like 50,000 plus views. I also have videos that are the opposite that fell off. So I'm like, dude, I'm proud of you. And he's like, well, it doesn't seem like that. And I'm like, shit. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. I think that old people probably get a different concept of it. Cause like, that's like a phrase now. People say go off or pop off.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I told Kendall that too. And I mean, even in gaming, it's like, well, it refers to sudden or extreme skill or, notoriety. It's like, oh, playing Apex Legends, like, oh shit, this dude got like, 7 kills and is a kill leader. He just popped off. Look at him go. Good for him.
Now, Diamond Dave, do you do much with Discord?
I do. I just joined your Discord, actually.
Oh, that's badass. Should we bring Joey in on the conversation? Joey, you give us a heads up if you want to join in. Are you into it? But I don't want to get into him into any trouble. I don't want him to get into anything he doesn't want to do. I'm looking at the private comment chat, Joey, in case you want.
Well, I will say this since I have you here, and if anyone's watching in Provo or in Utah or Xmojo, I got 2 suitcases and a clothes hamper to donate to the unsheltered. So if someone can get that today, that's going to be important because my flight's at 7 a.m. tomorrow. So it's got to be today.
I can probably make that happen today. I can probably get down there today. Okay. My wife went up to Salt Lake to see Bernie Sanders. So she has the car. So.
I gotcha. Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be you. It could be someone you know. But yeah, I gave Hyde the PS4. It didn't have any cables to it. And like I didn't realize I still had it because like I've had a gaming computer for a while and it's just been sitting up like on a ledge in a thing, so it's like dusty and stuff. But I kept 2 controllers because I do Apex Legends and other like shooting games from my PC.
Yeah.
But so I'm like, oh, I have a PS4 with no cables. Yeah, I'll just give that to him. Why not? I mean, I'm not gonna use it. Like,
not gonna use it. Yeah, great. And I
mean, safety check. Yeah,
it's looking like it'll become a thing. Like it'll help. So, hey, Joey, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, pretty good. Can you hear me?
So Joey's in charge. Yeah, we hear you. Joey's in charge of the Discord server, Diamond Dave. Anything that's particularly Discordy, he has to answer because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing with that.
Oh yeah, I used to do some very basic, less admin like coding stuff, more moderating for a pretty large Discord before it imploded. Yeah. I'm sure Joey knows how it goes, especially in kind of the just the Discord sphere in general. You got a girl who's attractive and everyone wants to be around her and she's fun and she does conventions, and then everyone finds out, oh, she's been stealing money from men and cheating on multiple boyfriends simultaneously, and everyone just left. That's basically what happened.
Oh man,
Discord is a breeding ground for drama typically.
It's great.
Yeah, but we can sort of avoid that, I feel, with the sponsorship sort of.
Okay. Unless it's good. I mean, is it good drama? Is there such a thing as good drama? I
mean, I would say so. I mean, you look at the Mormon, ex-Mormon space. Like, I left the church, but I can't leave it alone because the drama between both parties is hilarious, and I am very nosy. So that's it's great. It's like TMZ, except Utah.
It really is. It really is like Jerry Springer sometimes. Yeah, I'm kind of caught in the middle of that right now. I don't even really, I barely even know Bill or RFM, so I'm not really concerned about that side with like Maven's, expose.
Oh,
But,
did you see that?
Oh, is that
That's
the
it.
4-hour video that she just put out?
Yeah, I was a
Just
part of
already
the.
started it, yeah.
I was a part of the after show, and like I withheld a lot just because I like Maven, I like Bill, and I just wanted to support Maven. Are there a couple things that are weird to me? Sure, but then there's things that are weird to me on both sides. And after reading that really, really long response, that seemed like I wouldn't say it's AI generated, but it's something that like Wells Fargo would like put out after the Jabari settlement, like with all the fake accounts opening and all like the home. It seemed like one of those responses. I'm like, oh, all right, so that's the other side of the story. Yeah, this is a nothing burger. Like, this is really a nothing burger. Bill did nothing wrong, so.
Gold says Board Radio now claims X-Moms have Munchausen by proxy.
Wait, oh, I didn't watch that video. I saw they put out that video, and I'm just like,
I know what that is, but I'm trying to figure out what they mean by that.
Yeah, same. That I'm gonna have to watch that video too because I saw that title and I'm like, who? We're doing medical diagnoses now. Just stick to the normal, like, fun bullshit, guys. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. So basically, it's Munchausen is where you basically fake an illness to get attention or sympathy, right? Right, like they're like addicted to sympathy. Isn't that how the basic breakdown?
As far as I understand it. Oh, you can go ahead, Dave.
Well, that's basically what it is. So Munchausen's is like it's an actual disorder where people usually have been neglected or abused. They either fake an illness to get love and care and attention from medical professionals, or they're actually hypochondriacs and think something's wrong with them that they do that. And then Munchausen's by proxy is one of the most famous cases, and I forget the name of the girl, but there was this girl who ended up killing her mom because her mom made up all these diseases to like that she never had to like make money and stuff. And I don't even get the title because like I would think a more accurate claim from the medical standpoint, the medical definition would be ex-Mormons have Munchausen's, right? Because from the believing side, if you put on your Mormon cap, your Mormon glasses, and look at people who left, oh, they're faking things they don't have for attention. They're faking all these things. But Munchausen's by proxy is like a son or a daughter or someone outside of yourself. I don't see that in the Exmo community at all. Like, I don't see Bill Reel or John DeLynn go, yeah, I left the church because, all these things happen to other people. I personally haven't seen that, so...
I haven't seen the video, but it could be that they're trying to say like, oh, you're just applying all these illnesses to us members so that you can get attention as ex-members or however that's working in their mind.
All I know is that they like to have themselves a good little tickle about, ex-Mormons saying that we have religious trauma, and they fall apart and go, oh, come on, it's not trauma. And it's like, really? You're saying no ex-Mormons have religious trauma?
Yeah, I very much disagree with that. And actually, I was going to weigh in on I didn't get a chance to just because I'm in the process of packing and finishing packing today. But the episode with Austin Fife last night that Bill and RFM did with Colby about like abuse in the church, I just noticed a huge disconnect from my personal experience, right? Because if you're a bishop or a stake president, you have a helpline and you keep it hush hush, right? But like I remember as a member, Like, I could tell you right now at my ward in Provo, mid-singles ward, if there was a case of abuse, the average member there's a lot of combat vets from Iraq and Afghanistan, and I promise you, they're not going to the police, and they will deal with it, right? So it's kind of interesting to see how the average member would be more inclined to do vigilante justice, but then the bishops and then the stake presidents would just be like, you know what, let's just do the forgiveness, kind of keep it under wraps. We don't want, you know what I mean? It's a polar opposite, and I've never understood why that is.
Yeah, I mean, they get tired of the negative press. Frankly, the church would rather. I mean, if anything's been revealed in like the Mormon stories and, you know, other revelations about about the trauma people have experienced and the hotline, is that the Mormon church would rather pay for therapy and or pay for settlements than have the negative press of having to admit that this happened under their watch. Well, hello, sir. Who let you out? I'm talking to a dog right now in case people saw me look down.
I don't know. I think, if the church wants to be a $1 trillion business, I think it would be better for them to take the publicity hit like the Catholic Church did and be like, yeah, all right, we made a mistake. Be more transparent, because that's what people are wanting. And then you save yourself a ton of money in the process. Because from a PR side, it looks better to be like, okay, let's do that. You know, let's take the hit now and then build and grow later, as opposed to just maintaining the status quo and then hemorrhage money and then have it crash and burn later on when you're still going to have to do the first part anyway, you know?
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, I wish that they would just come out and say, we did bad and we're going to change and we're going to do better. And here's what we're going to do right by the people who have been hurt so far. I mean, it's not like they don't have the resources. They just don't have the willingness. And I'm sure that in their minds, they can't fix it anyway, which I'm sure is true, but they could at least try. Yeah, but that's my feeling. Right? Where did this puppy go? Where'd you go, Hirsch? You leave?
Got a doggo walking around.
Mm-hmm. You still here, Hirsch? No. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's an interesting predicament, but
to Joey's question, I think it's just LDS. I think it's just LDS, because I've heard a lot of members who are like, oh, yeah, you don't get religious trauma in that church. But women who escaped Saudi Arabia from Islam, yeah, they're very traumatized, you know. So I have heard a lot of acknowledgement on religious trauma from like Islam or, you know, that's other religions.
That's real too.
No.
Yeah. No. But I mean, evangelicals have a lot of, ex-evangelicals come out of the church largely because of trauma. Jehovah's Witnesses, definitely a lot. And Scientology, ex-Scientologists or, suppressive persons, I mean, there's a ton of it. And, we don't have a monopoly on it, but definitely we got it.
For sure. Yeah. But yeah, I think just members acknowledge all other forms of religious trauma, but not LDS trauma. And that's just, again, because it's the one true church. How can God traumatize you? How can the one true God that died for everyone that loves you cause you trauma? Right.
So. Yeah, it's like good luck getting Baptists to acknowledge that they're causing trauma. It's tribal thinking.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I'm proud of you, though. You got a Discord up, dude. You got your own Discord.
It was no doing of mine. This is the man right here. He's in charge, and I'm like, I don't know. Is that a thing? Is Discord still a thing? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, then go for it, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Joey should have opted for TeamSpeak. Just go full full nostalgia, just
Yeah.
team speak.
I think it lacks a lot of the features we would require for a good community. But yeah, TeamSpeak was good back in the day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least you're ahead of the church. You know,
That's not hard.
The
I'm saying
church
much.
doesn't. The Mormon church doesn't have a Discord server yet.
not the
I
Mormon
mean-
church, like Ward Radio does, but they're like, I mean, they're younger people. So, but like, yeah, the LDS church doesn't, to the best of my knowledge, does not have a Discord. I might be wrong, but
Well, I mean,
Nothing
they have
official.
they have Zion Media's Discord if they have anything. After Culch and I did that show with Zion Media, I'm pulling it up right now. And I went through. Well, we went through their Discord, and then I went through their. Didn't we go over Culch? If Culch is still out there, didn't we go over their Google Docs server? And they had a that was called Kimora, and it had all the extra scriptures that these Mormons at Zion Media at Chief Medica's group are reading, and it's like crazy time. I mean, I'm like, what in the world? Like, they were reading Krishna Melka's book, the Sealed Portion. Are you familiar with that?
no.
That one was wild. Basically, you've heard of all these Mormons who are like praying to Heavenly Mother now.
Yeah.
That book was one of the books of scripture people started to get into, where they started to acknowledge this, that we can talk about Heavenly Mothers and things. Is that there was this what do they call it? This document that claimed that it was that the guy Krishna Melka had claimed at the time. I don't know what he claims now, but he claimed that he was like Joseph Smith, like basically, or not Joseph, Hiram Smith, reborn or something. Like he went to the temple one day, and Hiram Smith or somebody appeared to him and imbued him with the essence of Hiram Smith, and so now he is, Hiram Smith reborn in the world, and he got these stones that he would use to translate, and he took the sealed portion of the gold plates, and by divine inspiration and the seer stones, he was able to write out the rest of the Book of Mormon that we never got. And surprise, surprise, it's a bunch of Saturday's warrior theology.
For everyone watching, that's not how reincarnation works. Just so you know, that's not like. I'd rather because I do personally believe in reincarnation. I would much prefer someone to be like, yeah, I am, Hiram Smith reincarnated. Like, I am back. It's like, all right, at least you have an actual, like, at least you have something with a basis in, anything. But
did you understand it? Because you had a fairly unorthodox introduction into the church, conversion into the church. But did you ever have it understood in your understanding that reincarnation is consistent with Mormon theology?
Well, yeah, that's why that's one of the main hooks, right? Because you have the primordial existence, which is one state of existence, and then there's the travel or the existence within the veil of forgetfulness, and then you have a physical existence here, and then after you die, you end up in one of these, three kingdoms, technically more, because the celestial kingdom has its own tiers, right? But yeah, so that itself is reincarnation, the cycle of birth and re-death, or of birth, death, and going over again, and then the separation from God and, putting people into these categories. Well, that is Varnas. That is what Varnas are. You would know that as the caste system. So there's also the aspect.
That I do know.
Yep. And then there's the aspect of the Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother, which in Hinduism is Lord Shiva, Goddess Parvati, the universe's first love marriage, as it's colloquially known, and then the balance of how Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother interact. Shiva Shakti, masculine, feminine energy. So
That's interesting. I mean, it definitely is off the beaten path from what we were taught when we were kids.
yeah. Well, that's
But-
part of the reason why I think I should never have been baptized in the first place, because I call myself now the diamond investigator, because you have the golden investigators where they go through all the teachings. Yeah, I'm on board. Let's do it. Whereas for me, it was like after the first or second, lesson discussion, checking all the boxes, doing what I was supposed to do. I was going to get, I got a promotion, moved out to Utah, right? But I just asked to be baptized. I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. And the discussions were never full discussions because it was me and the missionaries comparing Hinduism to their beliefs. And they're like, oh, this guy wants to get baptized. And they call whoever it is that they call. And they're like, yep, go for it. So I was baptized within way faster than I would say the average convert is.
Yeah.
Do they require 3 Sundays for you?
What'd you say?
Do they require 3 Sundays for you?
No.
He's going around in a lot of missions.
Yeah, no. I do know that, like, however the process works, mine was very unorthodox in that they got special permission, was how it was defined.
Oh man, and when I was in Peru, 99 to 2001, like I saw it happen more than once. I can't say that I participated in any of them, but we had more than one. I was close proximity to more than one baptism. That was first discussion on Monday, baptized on Saturday. It was like quite. It was quite a wild thing down in Peru. In Peru, it was just like, get them in here.
Yeah, mine was more 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And when I got out here, I started a blog that if you were to read it, I actually think it still exists. I should send that to you. But if you read it, it's very like Orthodox LDS. Yeah, I even wrote an article, and I kind of laugh about it now, but I wrote an article about how, like, I went to a YSA party and then there were, people hugging and kissing and just being normal couples. And I'm like, guys, chances are that's someone else's wife. Stop it. Like I literally wrote one of those articles. It's a 3-part called Return to Orthodoxy. And then one of the things was on the Heavenly Mother, why she hasn't revealed herself. And my take at that time was the Heavenly Mother had not revealed to herself because we objectify women, we abuse women, we sell women. We're not worthy of her, right? Which is a pretty orthodox perspective. So
not Orthodox Mormon, that's for sure.
But
because like
It's good
in Mormon Orthodoxy, if you're macking on somebody else's wife, it's because you outrank him in the priesthood.
Yeah. Well, that's culturally, but like I actually, like, my bishop at the time, and he was a cool dude, but he loved it. Like he loved it. And he was an older guy, and I would say more hardlined in how things he could do, or like how things should be. And like he loved it. So it was interesting times.
Yeah, I think Mormonism. Jules says, "Yeah, Coach, my ex-wife did that. We had folks baptized in a week and a half." Oh yeah, yep.
I feel like that's what mine was, if I remember correctly, like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it got pretty Wild West there for a while, and that's why now the church is claiming in this last Sunday that they've had the most converts ever this last year. I'm like,
oh, really?
Yes. I'm sorry, I don't buy that for a second. I mean, but at the end of the day, retention is what matters. If you get 1 million new converts, that's wonderful, great, good for you. But do these people convert to Mormonism, or are they wanting to hang out with the missionaries or hoping that the missionaries are their new best friends for life? And the church just doesn't really cultivate that kind of culture. That's my experience anyway.
In my
I don't know
case, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was asking you, but
Oh.
Dave, like, what was your experience with your missionaries?
So my experience was good. They were very young. This was in Minneapolis in 2020 during the Floyd riots. So there's COVID and the riots.
Oh,
I feel like, they were. It was funny because you see like the stereotypical missionary smile. It was more of a grimace, and their eyes were like huge with everything that was going on because they were like young missionaries. For me, I think that might have been a factor too, because people aren't joining the church in COVID, and in Minneapolis, you've got the riots. So I think that might have been a factor as well. It's like, oh, not only, we're not getting anybody, and here's this guy. Yeah, just ship them on in. For me and many other people I've heard, especially from unorthodox like backgrounds, a lot of it is kind of based more around quote unquote blessings, right? Because, I was seeking more fulfillment. I'm, trying to get promotions and more just internal fulfillment and external benefits in life, right? And the missionaries are like, well, if you quit smoking and using nicotine pouches and you get baptized, you check all the boxes, do all the things, God will give you these tangible blessings. And so I did that. And I got my way paid out to Utah, a lot of blessings. I got promoted 5 times within 3 years. I was getting pay raises left and right. So I'm like, okay, there's something to this church. It must be true because I'm getting things from it. I'm putting in and I'm getting out. And one of the things that was pivotal in my faith conflict, that I call it, is when I'm in the church, I'm getting my patriarchal blessing. I'm doing, I'm about ready to be sustained in Melchizedek priesthood. These blessings all stop, right? I'm paying my tithing. I'm checking all the boxes, and these blessings stop. And I have no idea why. I'm not smoking. I'm not using nicotine pouches. I'm not drinking. And when I asked the bishop,
that's got to feel pretty dirty when it's like, okay, so now that I'm in the church, all this goes away. What happened here?
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm like, well, what's going on? And, the bishop at the time was like, well, I'm not really sure, but you are laying away treasures in heaven. Right. Yes. And one of the things I was having issues with was dating because, I'm like, the ladies are kind, and a few of them went on dates with me. I found out just to make me feel nice. They didn't want to say no. But and I was okay with that. It was just annoying at the end. But I'm like, look, these ladies don't want a guy who has a kid outside of marriage and was a drug addict. And even though I've been clean and sober 11 years, they don't want someone like that. Right.
Right.
So there's no eternal family.
What happened to, though thy sins be as scarlet, they shall be white as snow? What happened there? I mean, come on.
I don't know, but anyway, so, and he's like, well, if you don't find a wife in the church in this life, God will help you find one in the next life. And to me, that just seemed like a runaround, right? Whereas the Hindu side, right? So we got the split of beliefs. So the Mormon side can't give me an answer. The Hindu side is saying, I'm doing something wrong, right? Because tangible blessings come from God. And if you don't get them, well, you did something to deserve it. And then I looked at my patriarchal blessing, and there was one paragraph that stood out to me. And that was, I discharge you from the duties of your ancestors. Know that more of your ancestors have accepted Christ beyond the veil, yet there is still so much work to do. And at this time, I'm having kind of like, I wouldn't say spiritual experiences, but definitely waking up in cold sweats. My roommate saw it. I'm waking up in cold sweats with the word stuck in my head. This is treason, right? And it occurred to me, at least from the Hindu faith, not only have I committed treason by joining a Christian church and adopting Christian values, but now I come from a bloodline of people who abandoned not just Hindu, because I'm predominantly Germanic. I'm very Scandinavian, very Germanic, with a little small bit of outside of that, right? But
Right.
I have ancestors in general who've also committed treason. That's why the blessings stopped, because I'm committing treason. And I stopped going to church. And you know what? I'm engaged to a beautiful lady who makes, I worked at Wells Fargo. Friday was my last day in a corporate position. She made about 4 to 5. She makes 4 to 5 times what I do in US dollars from a corporate position. Her family, well-known, renowned. She's an artist, and some of her art with her artist name is literally like in downtown Ulaanbaatar. One is outside. She sent me a video. One, it's like a big old painting outside of her apartment that the city put up. Yeah, and so it's like I'm getting all these blessings, and I'm, she wanted me to come be with her sooner. She sent me money to pay off my car, and even though I could have paid it off myself, it would have been at the end of the year, and I could have paid my own way. So I'm getting all these blessings, and I'm getting married. Well, the church must not work. At least it doesn't work for me, right?
Yeah,
not on the mammon grounds that they sold you in the first place. At least this prosperity gospel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think that was kind of the fatal flaw of, at least. Now, my missionaries were amazing people, and I still actually talk to one. Great guy, got married, had a kid, amazing person. And he flat out told me when I stopped going to church, he's like, dude, I don't care if you're a member or not. I just want you to be happy. And he's
that's
like,
great, man.
And on top of that, he was like, I'm sorry you couldn't find it in the church, but I hope you find happiness elsewhere. Cool dude. Great guy.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, cool dude. So, it's nothing against the missionaries. I know one of them, the guy that I talked to, the really cool one, I was his first baptism ever.
Cool.
I think the other guy had a couple baptisms, but not many, right? So I think it's a combination of me not understanding what the church was about and what I was getting into, combined with them, this guy is, resonating with this part of the teachings and resonating with the blessings. So let's work with that, because they are not fluent in, Eastern philosophy, right? They're trying to connect. It's just one of those situations where shouldn't have happened, but not their fault.
Yeah, so like you're looking at what, 4 or 5 years since conversion.
Yeah,
so they've been home for a couple of years. I'd love to know if, without outing them personally in the future, when we follow up, to see if you stay in touch with them, are they still with the church? Because that's about the time frame that we're looking at for
I think
RMs.
Yeah, I know. I would say I'm about 80% certain. The one that I've kept in contact with on and off, I'm 80% certain he still is. The other one, I completely lost track of. I have no idea where he's at, what he's doing.
Right.
So who knows? Flip a coin.
Yeah, it's an interesting conundrum. It's the new modern world. Listen, fellas, I'm gonna have to bail on you, I'm afraid, because the wife is finally home. Diamond Dave, I'll message you and talk about. I'll swing by you there in Provo, especially if you're gonna be home for a while.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be home all day. So
okay, I'll give you a message. People,
awesome.
It's good to see you. Thank you very much. And everybody, hop on that Discord server and let's see what kind of trouble we can get up to.
Yeah, we'll be in the calls today.
Ooh.
All right, flash bright, Core Horse.
Have a good one.